The Exorcism of Emily Rose is a chilling film that blends horror with courtroom drama. But what many people don't realize is that the movie is loosely based on the true story of a young woman named Anneliese Michel. Her life and death became the center of one of the most infamous exorcism cases in history, a case that raised profound questions about faith, mental illness, and the limits of religious belief. Anneliese Michel was born on September 21, 1952, in a small town in Bavaria, Germany. Raised in a deeply religious Roman Catholic family, Anneliese was known for her piety and dedication to her faith. However, her life took a tragic turn in her teenage years when she began to experience severe convulsions. In 1969, at the age of 16, Anneliese was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy, a condition that can cause seizures, memory loss, and hallucinations. Despite medical treatment, including powerful anticonvulsant drugs, Anneliese's condition worsened. She began to hear voices and see demonic faces, claiming that she was possessed by evil spirits. Her behavior became increasingly erratic and violent, and she fell into deep religious delusions, believing that she was being punished for the sins of the world. As Anneliese's mental and physical health deteriorated, her devout family became convinced that her condition was not purely medical, but spiritual. They turned to the Catholic Church for help, believing that she was possessed by demons. After much hesitation, two priests, Father Ernst Alt and Father Arnold Renz, were granted permission by the local bishop to perform the rite of exorcism. Over the course of 10 months, from 1975 to 1976, Anneliese underwent 67 exorcism sessions. These sessions were grueling and terrifying, lasting up to 4 hours each. During the exorcisms, Anneliese would scream, speak in multiple voices, and exhibit what appeared to be supernatural strength. She claimed to be possessed by several demons, including Lucifer, Judas Iscariot, and Nero. Throughout this period, Anneliese refused to eat, believing that starvation would rid her of the demonic forces within her. Her physical condition became dire, and she eventually became bedridden. Despite her frail state, she continued to endure the exorcisms, convinced that she was meant to suffer for the sins of others. On July 1, 1976, Anneliese Michel died in her home at the age of 23. She weighed only 68 pounds at the time of her death. The official cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration. Her death shocked the community and led to a criminal investigation. The case became a media sensation, and in 1978, Anneliese's parents and the two priests who performed the exorcisms were charged with negligent homicide. The trial that followed was highly publicized and polarized public opinion. The defense argued that Anneliese's death was a result of a spiritual battle and that the exorcisms were performed with the intention of saving her soul. They claimed that she had willingly stopped eating and that the priests were only trying to help her. The prosecution, however, argued that Anneliese was suffering from a severe mental illness and that her death could have been prevented with proper medical care. They accused the priests and her parents of gross negligence, pointing to the fact that Anneliese had stopped taking her medication and was denied medical treatment in favor of exorcism. In the end, the court found the defendants guilty of manslaughter resulting from negligence. The priests were sentenced to 6 months in jail, which was later suspended, and 3 years of probation. Anneliese's parents were exempted from punishment as they had suffered enough. According to the judge, the story of Anneliese Michel continues to be a topic of debate and fascination. For some, her case is a tragic example of the dangers of religious fanaticism and the failure to recognize mental illness. For others, it remains a testament to the power of faith and the reality of demonic possession. Her grave in Klingenberg, Germany, has become a site of pilgrimage for those who believe she was a martyr. The tapes from her exorcisms, which capture her terrifying screams and guttural voices, are still circulated online, fueling both skepticism and belief in the supernatural. The film The Exorcism of Emily Rose dramatizes her story, blending fiction with fact. While it takes creative liberties, the core of the movie, the battle between science and religion, belief and doubt mirrors the real-life struggle that Anneliese Michel and those around her face. The true story behind the exorcism of Emily Rose is far more complex and tragic than any film can capture. It's a story of a young woman caught between two worlds, the medical and the spiritual, the rational and the supernatural. Whether Anneliese Michel was truly possessed or suffering from a devastating mental illness, her story serves as a haunting reminder of the thin line between faith and fear, and the devastating consequences when that line is crossed.